Good morning, Norma Cowie here with my Wednesday report, um, the metaphysical aspects. But today we've got a reading for February. I know a lot of people like my readings for the months as we go through. Only I can say this month I've been sitting here looking at the cards that I have down, and I'll probably bring them up one by one. I was a little bit late with everything this morning because I didn't go to sleep last night. I just couldn't go to sleep. It's the first time for ages and ages and ages that's happened. And my friend texted me this morning and she didn't go to sleep either. So there must have been something moving outside because there was no way. I really probably had maybe less than an hour's sleep all night. So who knows where my brain is today. So welcome, welcome. The first thing I want to say here, February is change, 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 change. For those of you that know and understand tarot, in a 9 card spread that I do for these, 7 of the symbols are higher arcana ones. There is change everywhere. So I'm going to go slowly through this for those that want to like to see the symbols. We start off with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is always about change. It's like if it's personal, it's like you're the hub of the wheel and there's lots of change around. Oh, and I forgot to mention for those that may be new watching these, this is for North America, the US and Canada, because I'm in Canada. So it's one of the things that we look at. So basically, we're already into some of the changes that are going on. And then comes the Judgment card, which is the higher power in a way. It becomes more, and there's an acceptance level. So whatever the changes that are going on is sort of to a degree accepted, but it's also otherworldly because this is the angel touting the horn and people are arising, right? So it's like coming into a new awareness, coming into, yes. So the call to arms, the call to whatever's going on, because it's like there's change. So the wheel, which is like the hub, very important, changing around. Now, when I look at that, there's not much movement. I always look to see how much movement it is. But there is learning, understanding that my attention is drawn to the 4 corners, which are the 4 fixed signs, which have books. I'll just show you that again. They see in the corners, they have books. They're learning. Whoops. Yeah, learning how to hold a card properly is one of the things. But here, there's an acceptance of something that's going on. It's still the changes there for sure, because so many of the symbols show that. In fact, I almost felt like I was on quicksand, to a degree, being a little bit. Um, but judgment is a call to arms. And that's where we're basically are at now. Um, Actually, I think it's already probably happened, the calling to arms. And then we have what I call a court card, which is the Knight of Pentacles. He's stationary. He's looking out. He's trying to figure out what's going on and planning and ready to go, but not going. So that's a quiet time. And that's what I see coming up here till at least maybe the 7th, 8th, maybe stretch into the 10th. But by the 10th or around the 10th of the month, we have the Chariot. Leaving behind the old, accepted, what's being created. And although they're not moving at this point, ready to move. The Chariot also donates change. So we've talked about 4 symbols, and 3 of them really talk about change because the Knight of Pentacles waiting, the Chariot is waiting. So it's like everybody's waiting for something. And so as we move on through towards the teens of the month, We have the Hierophant. More knowledge is needed. Seeking out knowledge, seeking out awareness. People, what do we do here? How do we handle this? Who's in charge? Where do we give our power? Where is the power going? Where does it work out? So it's to me, in this instance, it's a very unstabilized. It's very uncertain. It just adds to this waiting for whatever. Because when I first looked at this, I thought, oh my goodness, oh heck. But then there's a lot of waiting. Changes, yes, but we're waiting. It's not really happening. And that, so we as we get into the 20s of the month, then we have the Fool, one of our most spiritual symbols that we have in the Higher Arcana card. Totally aware of the higher power, not listening to what else is this little dog over here going, yep, 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 yep. But, well, he's not really yapping, but he's dancing. He's really walking along. But there's lots of symbolism in the Fool, and because it's the very last kind of symbol of the Higher Arcana. And it's like often when that occurs, we will, because he's walking off the end of a cliff, we will make judgments, we will make decisions, we will make all sorts of awareness. And because we're looking at North America, and it's very, to me, it's volatile. It's like they may not even know what they're going to do, but there's plans, there's thinking, there's figuring, and it all looks like everything's as normal. It's underneath all this readiness, all this preparedness for what we're not quite sure of yet. Now, as we move through the 20s, I want to say from about 22 to not quite 27, maybe 25, we have a love vibration, the Empress, saying everything is love, everything is nice, everything is real. Sometimes, an act is put on, and this is the first time in my life I've ever looked at that symbol and felt somehow it's false. We're not coming from the heart. We're not working. It's like, because we're such a waiting, such a waiting vibration through this whole thing. And so here's this, I think I got it. Come on into me right now. Thank you guys. Is that this is the front showing conciliation, showing a sense of purpose and alignment and all those things. But what really is happening, plans are happening to come in. This is the eight of wands. Sorry, carried away here. And then it's like, they're not here. It's not here. It's not done yet. It's like right up till near the end of February, all this planning that most of us will not be aware of, because I think it's all underhand. It's all uncertain. It's all unsure, because the final symbol, which will be happening the 29th through to the 31st, somewhere in there. No, 28 days is February, isn't it? No, I should look at my calendar. I said April, June, all the rest have to. Yeah, sometimes February is a bit shorter. So I got a little lost there. Sorry about that, guys. We end up on here. The Tower is always unexpected and everything crumbles. And then, of course, we have to bring back together. As I said, there's 7 Higher Arcana cards in here. The Wheel of Fortune, change. Judgment, accepting things as they are. The Chariot, leaving the past behind and moving forward. The Hierophant, more knowledge is needed. Spiritual guidance, more knowledge, awareness of the laws, you might say, the spiritual laws. The Fool, having faith and stepping out in faith, and so in believing. And if you believe that your actions and your reason for doing things this is the full. You totally believe it 100% of the direction that you're going in, followed by the Empress, because that success, achieving success, everything you want. So all this thought and all this energy that's going into this, that, and the other is because we believe it will work. But it says, hold on, destruction is there. So whatever is being planned, because that's what it looks like to me, whatever is being planned, most of us won't even know about it from the look of this. And when it comes in, I think many is going to be very, very surprised of the action, but it won't happen till the end of February, could be even into early March. But there's some action being planned. There's some action being awareness. There's a lot of consulting and talking going on, but under the surface, it's not common knowledge, except some people who can read between the lines know a little bit more. I just have to make a little adjustment here, which will take me a minute so that we can, there's somebody written some things. I want to make sure I can see what they are. There they go. Okay, we've just got a couple of comments here. Is it a free reading? Yeah, yes. I just do this for my own pleasure and some of my friends that really like this. But as I said, when you've got this amount of Higher Arcana cards, 7 of them, but we end up on the Tower, I'm going to be very interested to see what comes out of, because the action is, there's no real action until the end of the month. It's all planning, just maybe discussing. We've got high, lofty ideals. We feel we're in the right. That can sometimes be good. But to start off with the Wheel of Fortune, which is change, massive change. You've got to be like the hub of the wheel. That's when your life gets really unsettled. It's just, to me, there's no, I think it's just like live your life and wait to the end of the month. And trustingly, this is not correct. This is not correct. Somebody, they're having a little questions and answers in the chat room. So just remember, you can. There's nothing really that I can say too much for them. So I'm just going to take a moment just to catch up. So Yvonne says, thank you. I think this is new. Is this a free reading? And somebody says, thank you. Can I ask my question for later? If you have in this particular thing, on Monday, I deal directly with things. On Wednesdays, it's more the philosophical side. And so if you have a question that's philosophical, but yes, you can ask it, or based on something I may have said, because not everyone's going to agree with this, I'm sure. And so I would, yes, if you've got a question, you can ask a question, but a reading question, no. That's for my healing, etc. on Monday nights, we do that. After all, there are lots of things, but I like to look at, I'm just, in a way, I'm blown away. 7 Higher Arcana cards, and all of them, most of them showing some kind of change, but also that spiritual side, because Judgment and the Hierophant and the Empress show a spiritual side of things. The Chariot and the Tower shows movement of some kind. The Chariot's gentle. Chariot can just be waiting, and that's what I feel mostly this month's going to be. Waiting. There'll be discussions happening. There'll be ideas maybe flowing around, but nothing really happens till right at the end of the month as we transition into March. So I will be looking forward to see what the next month brings. Or even what comes out in this month. So it's like listening and hearing and seeing what's going on and what's doing and what's being. And I found, like, when I don't sleep like that, no matter what I do, I can't go to sleep. And then someone else I know tells me they didn't sleep. That tells me there's activity in the ethers. There's an activity that we don't know. And that's what this shows here. It's all under. It's not something that's in a headline. It's not something that is current or aware. It's hidden in a sense. So, in other words, life goes along in a certain pattern, but anyway, February could be a very, very interesting month. And I certainly am either going to be very, very correct or I'm going to be very, very wrong. And that can happen too, because all you're doing is looking. I'm looking and reading from the vibration of what it says, and it's amazing. I just want to check, see, she says, oh, that's not my name either. Respond to my message. What? Oh, I haven't. Oh, that's the question. Yeah. I don't have my rest of that with me. I would say yes, but I don't know. This is not really so much. It's hard to explain, excuse me, in what I have going and how I can, how do you say, answer. I don't always answer everybody's like questions. If that This is more a philosophical discussion on Wednesdays, more sense of looking at how life works and what's happening and what's going on. I was actually going to talk about miracles today when my friend said, oh, you are going to do a reading for February, aren't you? And I went, oh, yeah, right. It's the beginning of the month. So I've been a little bit, and I'm sure many are, a little bit out of things. I want to thank you for listening to these few words, mainly so that you can watch with me news, watch actions, because the world is a little unsettled. We know that right now with lots of things going and happening. So we just won't keep an eye out, because I don't think anything's going to become really super obvious. Now, look at US and Canada. I'm not looking at the world. I'm just looking at US and Canada. And there are things going back and forth anyway, but it'll be interesting to see what eventually comes on out. I will suggest to summer is that you look back at some of my other sessions, other postings, and you may find the answers to things right there. So after not having any sleep, and I hope everyone had a good sleep last night. I really do. So I haven't had an evening like this for a long, long time. And I'm looking forward tonight. I can sleep again. So I want to thank you for listening to these few words. There's not as many as usual, but it's a fascinating time period. Now, so we'll see what actually evolves. But we know for sure that by the end of this month, February 2026, there will be some awarenesses that have come in that will affect us all in Canada and the US. There will be a change. But you know that right now, everything is being planned below the surface. There may be little bits that'll come out here and there, but basically a lot of it is unseen. We won't know. I really want to thank you for that have made comments here. And Sama, I think it is, Monday night at 7, when I do what I call mental mind treatments, is the best time to ask any question that you want, because you can then. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to have to go, but I have to shrink this down. I tell you, I'm having so much. Oh, that's not the one I want. Sorry. I have to work with, the size of this or that. So now I've got it's going bigger and I want to go smaller. That's weird. Here we go. Oh, I'm trying to get in so I can get out, and it's not doing that. I am getting so confused by my new computer that's doing things that I don't want particularly. So I'm going to see him. Why is that here? There we go. That's what we need. I've got to say end stream. That's where I'm going. You guys have a good week. Go, enjoy, 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 enjoy. And just remember, I had someone was saying, it's like having a positive thinking attitude. So to some degree is very, very important to be able to think positively. And that means the results. So Sama, you wrote a little question there, but I can't see it because I'm having problems. Everything's changed in the last couple of. See, there's change again, change over which I'm still trying to figure out. Just know the best bet is always to see the result you want mentally, because that way you're setting your pattern. And so for me, I'll just keep my awareness as to what's going on to see if I'm on track or not. So you have a great week. I will be back on Sunday morning with my Sunday thought, and then, of course, Monday evening for mental mind treatments. Blessings.